Toys for Bob is going indie. This was just announced 2 hours ago. This is a fantastic company. I love them. They have actually been around since 1993, I believe. Oh, nope, just kidding. I just looked it up. 1989. So yeah, they've been around for a while. Most recently, most notably, they are known for the Spyro trilogy, the Crash trilogy, doing the remasters for those and just making them look beautiful. They were also behind Crash 4, so the revival sort of spin-off of Crash. And they've also done some stuff with Call of Duty Warzone. So since 2005, they have been owned by Activision. So Activision has published all of their games, and they kind of recently went through a certain change. So I made a video on this about a couple weeks ago. There were a lot of layoffs at Microsoft, and within that specifically Activision, and within that specifically Toys for Bob. It looked like that was kind of coming under fire. There were some rumors that it was going to close down, but those rumors were later put to rest. But it still looked like things were shaken up, and that something was going to happen. So it looks like this is our something. I gotta say, I was not expecting this, but in their announcement blog post that was just a couple hours ago, Toys for Bob said that Activision and Microsoft has been very supportive of them in this transition process, and that they are still exploring a possible sort of partnership between them and Microsoft. And they say that, quote, "We are confident that we will continue to work closely together as part of our future." So yeah, even though they are going indie, it's safe to say that they still have a great relationship with Microsoft and with Activision. So though they are, taking their own route and going indie, that's not to say they won't necessarily be contracted to be responsible for, say, a Spyro 4 video game, or, continue working on some stuff with Call of Duty Warzone. They just wouldn't be tied down by Microsoft anymore. So they really weren't under the watchful eye of Microsoft for really any more than like 5 or 6 months, as Microsoft kind of just acquired Activision, and now Toys for Bob is going their own direction. Obviously, that is not to say that Microsoft is responsible for that. Like I said, it sounds like they do have a great relationship with Microsoft, but I'm definitely hoping that Microsoft still sees their value and the quality of work that they put into what they do. So hopefully they still use them for, a Spyro the Dragon revival when that inevitably happens. But yeah, even though this is just, very new breaking news, I've seen a lot of good reactions to this, and rightfully so. I mean, it's usually a good thing. When companies go indie, I think it's a good thing. I feel like at that point, they're just not as restricted, and obviously they can just kind of do more of what they want to do versus what their publishers are telling them to do. Toys for Bob has made a fantastic name for themselves over the years. It really does make sense why they are going independent. I think they'll be a great company financially on their own. They say that they are still in the early works of making their upcoming games. Who knows, maybe they have some brand new IPs up their sleeves. With the work they've done on Crash and Spyro, I could see them putting together a really good, colorful 3D platformer of their own, because I know they could do that well, obviously, and I know that there is still a desire from many gamers to have these platformers. So yeah, great stuff from them. Toys for Bob will definitely do well on their own. And today is a very interesting day just in general for games going independent, because it looks like Saber Interactive and Gearbox are both separating themselves from Embracer, which these days is kind of a controversial group. So Gearbox is basically the Borderlands studio. Saber Interactive, they are making Knights of the Old Republic. So I would say two pretty good studios, right? So they have, in addition to Toys for Bob, they have today, it looks like, gained their independence. I'm seeing stories for both on how both are probably going to get bought out, I guess. Or maybe they'll just fully go the Toys for Bob route and just do things on their own, just go completely independent. We will see, but yeah, all of that is happening today, and specifically, like I said, in the last 2 hours, this was just announced by Toys for Bob. So just overall, a very big day for great game studios going independent. I definitely look forward to seeing what Toys for Bob has up their sleeves as they go forward on their own now with whatever IPs they have in store for us.